All right, and we are live.
What's up, Buttercups? It's your homeboy here with the Queen. It's the Dream Team ready to talk about everything scale and tail and wings and things. What do you got for us today?
Oh my gosh. So it hasn't been that long since we did one of these, but with all of the new information that's coming out and with all the interviews that have been going on, I thought we would get back on here and just kind of get going on some of the stuff that some people that were doing interviews were saying, plus just some information that has come out since we last talked. So I'm actually going to go backwards in my points. So my first question is, have you watched any of the reactions?
Yeah, no, I don't bother with that because most of the time it's people like Preach and stuff like that who don't belong in the game anymore. So
You know what?
they,
Honestly, I can't agree with you more about that.
I mean, Failure and Preach don't belong to World of Warcraft anymore, and they're honestly the ones that get the most traction with their reactions and the things that they say and do. And it's just not worth my time to pay attention to those guys anymore. Now, we just got done with the Overwatch beta, and my i9 11900 is kicking out about 10,000 degrees. So I'm going to turn my fan on,
Probably a
and
good
because
plan.
otherwise I'm going to be dead in like 40 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, my biggest issue with listening to Preach and Bellular is that they're all doom and gloom all the time.
I
Well, Bellular is an overreactor and then a clickbaiter. Preach is just doom and gloom all the time. And so I can't stomach that. Like even Asmin, who was all doom and gloom for like 8 months, has let up on that.
yeah, actually, I watched Asmon's interview with Eon like right before we got in to WoW today, and
Actually, you know what? Is that Serenade? No, that's
no,
not
this is
Serenade.
the
That's
Braun
the
Helsed.
Crimson.
This is the Bronze Helsed. No, yeah. So I watched Asmon's interview with Ian today, and I was really ready for him to be a lot of doom and gloom. But the reality is he was actually really, he had some good points. He had good questions. He seemed to have a good like repertoire and banter with Ian. Um, so I was really excited about that. And then on the flip side of that, I was listening to Bellular and Preach. I was trying to get their, just try to get their reactions to stuff, and that was literally what you said is exactly how I felt about it. Like Preach, for example, dude, you don't play this game anymore. I'm not really sure why you're trying to be relevant about it. Like you made the decision, I think it was like a year ago now at least, to leave this
Yeah.
game and made a really big deal about it. And then now you're coming back and having reaction videos about how you feel about where the game is going and what they're doing and how they're doing it, and having all of these suggestions for them to make the game better. I think at this point it's still way too early to be having like suggestions to make the game better because we have absolutely no idea how the game is going to play. One of my least favorite things that he said was that he thought that the landscape screenshots were quote unquote shite because they were empty. It was just like landscape. And I'm like, yeah, it's a landscape shot, buddy. Like that, they do that on purpose. It's always just a landscape shot.
Oh,
So,
hold on. I'm listening. Go ahead. I
so that
got turn on auto loop.
it's always a landscape shot so they can show us what the world is going to look like and not necessarily. Sorry, my game keeps telling me that I can't learn one of the maps because I have an add-on, but I don't feel like disabling the add-on. uh, they typically don't give us a screenshot with like animals and stuff in it because they don't want to give things away in the game per se. I can't remember a single time where we had a landscape shot that had like a bunch of animals or a bunch of NPCs in it on purpose. So that was my big thing with. I thought it was just really interesting that he had a comment about like the way that the game looked, and we haven't even gotten there. And then Bellular with his whole. I think we should do it this way. I think we should do it this way. As far as I'm aware, Bellular doesn't even play the game. So I just found that really interesting. And then on the flip side of that, you know, you've got streamers and content creators like TNE, Taliesin, and Nevatel, Tally, and like we said, you know, Asmund, who are genuinely, I feel like, excited for the expansion. They play the game on the regular, and seem to really find ways to have enjoyment. Like, I don't know if you watched Taliesin's reaction to the cinematic, like when it went live, there was like genuine excitement coming from him. He was cheering and screaming and super, super excited. And Tally, the same thing. Like, he had like that, oh crap face, and he was really excited about it, and couldn't wait to start talking to his fan base about it. And then there's these other two guys. I doubt you did. Did you even watch Preach's reaction? You said you don't even watch him at all, right?
No, I blocked Preach on everything because him and I actually had an argument on Twitter.
So he made fun of how, and I mean, it is cheesy, the whole fake roundtable thing that Blizzard does, where they sit down and they have like a fake interview, like they don't already know what's coming out. You know what I mean? It's fake. It's cheesy. It's fun. It's all in good fun. And to me, making fun of it when you are no longer part of it is bad form, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's cringe. So
yeah.
I mean, it's even more cringe than his fake hairline now that he's had the transplants.
That's not nice.
I'm not a nice person. So
I the way that I feel about the whole thing, because I want to move on from this and actually be talking about some more fun stuff, is I really feel like they need to, you know, if they're going to have a comment about it, they really need to just play the game. Stop always being doom and gloom and feeling like there's no hope for the game. This whole business that, like you said, it's all clickbait. It's, oh, am I going to come back to the game? Am I going to come back to the game? You know what, dude? Your time has passed. It's not interesting anymore to listen to you. Like, I used to love Bellular. Like, he is who I used to get all of my WoW content from. Like, when they were doing beta and interviews and things like that. I loved his content, and now I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude. Just
even his clickbaity stuff I used to love, but now I can't.
And Preach, same thing. I used to love listening to Drama Llama because I thought it was hysterical. You know, people sending him stories about nightmares that have happened in the game and things like that, and he's reacting to it, and it was funny. And now it's just like, dude, you chose to leave this game to go play a different game, and that's totally fine. I'm all for you. I'm all for anybody that wants to leave a game and go do something different, but to come and moan and groan about a game that you don't play anymore, what's the point? Why?
And I also just want to point out, because there is a third member of this group, but it's Levigast. It's Bellular's side man. I used to really like him.
Isn't
because he sort of Matt. He sort of tempered Bellular. Now he's just full on swallowing Bellular's cock full on. So whoa. I mean, yeah, this is an 18+ podcast.
I'll be sure to note that.
I mean, nobody gets out of this alive in my life. So it's not about leaving a good-looking corpse. Yeah. It's about just sliding into the coffin in as many pieces as possible.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
So just wanted to shout out in Tally and Taliesin and Evatel's direction.
I'm going up.
Okay. They will be posting quite a few videos in the upcoming weeks and months leading up to beta and alpha, and their reactions to everything. Good content creators, wholesome in most ways. I know Taliesin and Evatel just had a baby. Shout out to that. Big deal. Baby number 2.
Ugliest fucking baby ever.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's adorable. I love him. But even they were pretty
Yeah, I mean, everybody, I think in this community, to me, we're all token on the hopium copium line. Like we're trying.
Not me.
I
I'm not.
am. I
I'm
want.
not.
I
I
want
never
the game
lost
to be
faith in
good.
the game. Like, I didn't like Shadowlands, but I never lost faith in the game.
Same. I'm
I
not
got
a
mad
big
at
fan.
Blizzard. I got mad at Blizzard when they did what they did to their female employees, but I didn't stop playing the game because stopping playing the game punishes them, the employees, not
Right.
Blizzard.
Exactly.
They're
But
already a billion-dollar company.
what I'm saying is like, in some form, you know, we've all been a little disheartened by the game. You know, with feeling like you're not heard and feeling like your opinion about the game doesn't matter as a community. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow. And so all I'm saying is that.
Okay, so my problem with that is that that's the opinion of a bunch of entitled losers. You should never assume that your opinion is going to be heard by a billion-dollar company. As somebody who spent 10 years working for McDonald's, they don't give a fuck about
Not
you
incorrect.
or anybody else.
Yeah. And I don't disagree with that. A lot of people feel like they should be heard in the game, and I can understand that. You know, as I personally am not one of those people. I'm always just really excited that there's an expansion coming out. I'm ready to try all the new things. You know, the only expansion that I truly did not like was WOD, and even through that, I wound up doing one of those full on. It's where this whole alt army came from. I leveled every single class, not every spec, every single class in the game that I could to max level during WOD because I was so bored. And
I mean, that was when I made my first hunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got the club. The only expansion I didn't like was Cata because it completely destroyed my paladin.
Yeah.
But
it could be a little why I don't like Shadowlands because it totally destroyed my resto druid.
She still functions.
She does, but they killed Tranquility.
Oh yeah,
I don't mind.
Trank is no fun, but
sad face, the heart hurts. But yeah, so all I'm saying is like there is a big part of the community that we've all, and I lump us into, at least myself. I'll rephrase. I lump myself into the category that we're all token on that hopium, you know, that it's gonna be better this coming expansion, that they will have taken a lot of what the WoW council that they put together has had to say about things. They'll take more information from the community, maybe open up beta a little bit more to some more casual-ish players that just are looking at the game from a player perspective, not from a high-end massive I raid, I Mythic Plus, I do all the things. I know that that's like their goal, like you said, the 1%, man, we've got to make the game for them. But you also have to make the game for the people that don't do that. So that's all I'm saying, is that there is a hope for a better horizon in the game. Now, speaking of hopes and concerns, moving on, in an interview, Ian Hazukosta, I think it was, said that not only is Anduin taking a step back by staying in the Shadowlands, spoilers for those of you that don't know that, he is stepping down as King of Stormwind and as the leader as a whole of the Alliance. What do you think of that?
I mean, I knew it was coming. I said that months ago.
Just I thought maybe he would take a minute and like recuperate from what happened to him and come back and be stronger. I don't.
Oh no, I think that I think we're talking about undead baby mama Sylvanas at this point, right?
Being the leader, or it's her.
No, no. I think that we're talking like they have something in common now.
Oh, well, yeah.
So we're gonna they're gonna come back together.
Oh God, please no. She's so much older than he is.
No, she's not really. I mean, she stopped aging, so she's dead.
I know, but okay. Oh Jesus.
We're talking. This is like undead baby mama. She kidnapped him. This is Stockholm syndrome at its finest.
I guess I am very concerned that they left a. We talked about this in our last podcast. They left like a what are those called? Like somebody that a fanatic. There we go. On the throne, basically. Who?
Oh yeah.
He. Little scary. Little scary. I'm concerned.
I mean, he is a big. What? Hold on.
We gotta go this way.
Let's go this way. Okay.
I'm concerned. I have a concern.
I mean, yeah.
Because of Uriel.
I mean, the person we're about to rescue.
Right, we're going to visit with Miss Uriel here.
And your blueberry over here.
He's coming. He's a little small at the moment.
Oh Lord, he coming.
Oh Lord, he coming. I have concern about having a fanatic on the throne that, you know, did Illidan a bit dirty in the way back before he had that kind of power, has been missing for a really long time, has not been part of like a community in a sense for a really long time, and kind of has the it's my way or the highway kind of thing, which is a little concerning.
We live in a society.
Community, society, same thing.
Yeah, it's a Joker reference. I mean, I don't disagree, and for people who didn't catch it, maybe who don't know the story of what happened, at some point during Legion or BFA, Uriel like turned into fucking Hitler and subjugated the Iron Horde.
Which you find out if you do the Magcar.
Yes.
Not allied race. What is that? Their heritage armor.
Their heritage armor stuff.
You find out just how bad it is when you do their heritage armor.
Because they bring you back to Wad Draenor.
Yeah.
And I mean it's a mess.
Yeah.
Uriel is basically Hitler. And forcing them to accept the light.
Yeah. Which is kind of what it wasn't kind of, it's what your Thralion tried to do to Illidan in Legion, which is what I'm talking about. It was like he did somebody dirty and it was like his way or the highway. And one could say that it was, I think she was Saren was the name of the Naru that was part of that.
Zara,
that's it. That, you know, it was her that caused that. No, not totally. You know, like, he could have said, I disagree with that. And he didn't. I have to run quickly. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, a little concerned that we are going to come back or at some point, and it probably is being set up to be that way. You know, in the future, I do believe that WoW's plan Blizzard's plan is to have there be a war, a disagreement, whatever you want to call it, between the light and the void. And I'm pretty sure that's what the jailer is talking about when sorry, spoilers again, when he says, we will not survive what is to come if we're not all unified. I think that's what he's talking about. And so we're taking a break, going and doing something else.
We're breaking up with a jailer.
Yeah, we're breaking up with a jailer. We're going home. We gotta see our dragon mama and play with Tuskar and hopefully get that dope-ass otter mount that somebody did fan art of.
We're definitely not going to get that.
I don't know. We probably weren't going to get it, but the fact that somebody noticed it and made a big deal about it, I'm sure we are. Because, I mean, it is a pretty cool looking mount.
You're 100% not going to get that.
I want it.
Look, I've already gotten you, like, a Siltide mount. You just calm down on the mounts for right now.
He got me Silt Hide earlier today, just as a side note. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I get this.
She's never actually seen the monster that drops it.
I had never seen Silt Hide. I had been hunting for that thing, like, in a, not in a roundabout kind of way. What would you say? Like in a
direct kind of way.
No, like in a lazy kind of way. You know, like I wanted it, but
like you do everything else in your life.
Right. I wanted it, but I wasn't like farming it hardcore, like sitting there all day, every day for hours and hours and hours, like people do when they're farming the time lost proto drake. You know, I would fly around the zone, check the spawn points. It wasn't there. Fly off. That was kind of the end of it. Now, I did find out today that the rare finder does not pop it up as a rare. So it very well could have been there anytime I went out there, and because I wasn't looking down, I was just flying over the area, and rare finder didn't go off, that it might have been there. That's kind of annoying, but oh well.
I've seen it twice in 3 days.
Yeah, so I appreciate you getting. I did thank you earlier, but thank you again. I've been wanting that one for quite a while, and now I have it. Which, speaking of, well, no, I won't change to it because I love my. I'll ride on it later, but I'm in love with my snail, you know.
I think of all the snails, I think Serenade is.
I don't
the way
disagree that she's probably the best out of all of them.
She sings.
She sings. That's her name. So, moving on from our, deep concerns about Anduin and leaving.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm guessing at some point, right? We're gonna have like sort of a battle for Stormwind, like we had like a siege of Orgrimmar.
Maybe, yeah, I could see that.
I don't know if it's gonna come in Dragonflight, but I mean,
if it does, it'll come at the end, like as the pre-patch to the next expansion.
Well, that would be well, no, I don't think that would make it the last raid in the expansion. That can't be right. There's no way. Tarlon being the final big bad.
I don't know. I don't know necessarily if he'll be the final big bad. I think that he will.
But but they're not going to put a new raid in as a pre-patch.
True.
Because there's no way that would not be a raid.
Why am I in combat? Oh, you're in combat. There we go. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see kind of where that is going. I'm concerned. I'll just put it out there, and I know you agree with that. I'm concerned about leaving. I think it should have been given to Gen. I'm not real sure why it wasn't given to Gen. I think it wasn't given to Gen, honestly, to be gameplay, like future gameplay. But I don't understand why we didn't give it to Gen or leave it in somebody else's hands. That it seemed like it would have been a better option. Is that lightest of me?
No, not really. I mean, sweet.
Aw, man, I hope I get it. Oh, I did. Yay! Woo!
I mean, I guess it could have gone to Gen, but the biggest issue is that I don't think they think Gen can rule within a level ahead.
I mean, fair, because he usually doesn't do things with a level head, but
as evidenced by,
between him and I don't know who's worse, honestly. I'd follow the good boy.
I mean, typically I would too, but I guess it's just not in the cards currently. I mean, you just get him a chew toy once in a while, it would be fine.
Right? So, like I said, taking a step away from Anduin and our deep concerns, again, for those that don't know, we are usually Alliance mains, but we are leveling an alt army. So, us talking about this, I guess on the flip side, we should talk about, like, the Horde has a council now. How does that work? They're all a bunch of greedy. Oh, almost said about. Well, yeah, greedy fucks is what they are. They're all a bunch of greedy fucks that don't want to. That toke the whole honor line, but in reality, not so much.
I mean, like, well, hopefully, I mean, I'm assuming it's in theory going to work a lot like regular democracy would work.
I mean, they had
I guess.
At the end in the book before the shadows, rising shadow, whatever the. Oh, my brain. Hold on. I'm looking it up, chat. Before the storm, that one, right?
I didn't read
the most
it.
recent one. Is it before the storm? It has to be before the storm.
Most recent one is Sylvanas.
Yeah, but the one before that.
Yeah, probably before the storm is the BFA one.
Hang on. Shadows Rising. There we go. In Shadows Rising, and it has to be Shadows Rising because in Before the Storm, Sylvanas was the war chief. So in Shadows Rising, they actually had like a whole section on the war council, like sitting down and having a conversation. And shockingly, it actually went really well. I was surprised. Are you done drawing your picture before I push the button?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm not drawing a picture today. I'm just going to push the button. I
was just making an Olympic symbol.
Well, we all know that I like to draw a dick, but I'm not going to do that right now.
Kerplow!
It's in theory, it sounds like it will run really well. I will be interested to see when they start having differences of opinion, kind of like what happened between Anduin and Anduin. There we go. I had a stroke. Hold on. Hands above my head. And Tyrande, when she was like, "Hey, you need to be sending people to help us after what Sylvanas did." And he's like, "I can't send people out there. I've got to do this other thing." And she got really upset with him and broke off basically from the alliance. She's like, "F you, F Stormwind, F the alliance. I'm going to do my own thing."
Yeah, you are all nothing. That's what I mean.
When the Horde has a difference of opinion like that, I'll be very interested to see how they work it out as a council, because they tend to have that happen quite frequently where they disagree with each other on how to do something. But hopefully they make it work. So, moving on to more like Dragonflight story stuff or Dragonflight expansion stuff. Let's talk about talent trees. Are you excited about them coming back? Did you enjoy them back in the day?
I mean, I did, but they're still, like, the talent trees were still like they are now, right? So you could have all of your talents. There's still only one good way to spec a character. Like in Wrath of the Lich King, you could, as a holy paladin, you had two ways to play. Mm-hmm. You could be a Flash of Light paladin for PvP, or if you wanted to raid, you had to gear toward Holy Light.
And I agree with that. I'm not saying, I'm just excited like about all the different choices. I think
right, and that's fine, but there will only be but there's only going to be one way to play your character still, and have to be effective per class. So,
but you'll at least be able to have like you'll have your raid like loadout.
Yeah, and you'll be able to use your loadouts to do whatever you want.
Loadout.
So here's the thing though, right? Because when I played a Holy Paladin in Wrath, I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna pay every time I want to switch, because I healed in PvP in Wrath as a Holy Paladin. So I just think I'm not gonna play I'm not paying every single time to respec to go back to raid. So I just kept my raid or my PvP spec in raid. And with the way I was spec'd, I had like a 109% critical strike chance on my flash of light after every proc.
Mm-hmm.
And it proc pretty much every single time I cast it. So it crit every single time, and it cost less than, well, I got mana back when I cast it. So it was basically a free heal. And back then, since it didn't matter if you wore plate or not, I wore a piece of priest gear with 3 sockets in it, triple stacked with haste. So I could cast like 3 in a second and a half, and I never had to stop casting.
Yeah. So did you miss like the old? You could have a point in holy, you could have a point in prot, you could have a point in ret, or later when they made you be able to dual spec. Like, did you miss the talent trees like the way that they were? Because back then you could kind of do your own thing. Yeah, there was the best way to do it, but there was still the option.
I mean, I do miss the talent trees, but like I said, that's how I got to, because my PvP spec that I used and later brought to raid, I was the only one that played paladin. Everybody else that came to like use the illumination spec,
Whee!
They only used the big heals, and I was out healing people who were far more like versed in healing, and they were like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, my own thing.
Yeah.
So, but then Cataclysm came around and made it so that you had to wear plate because of mastery.
Yeah.
Armor mastery.
Yeah, it changed, and it actually mattered what you were wearing. I do remember that, because like I had my hunter back then who was rocking a piece of cloth gear because it was better.
You needed intellect and spirit.
Yeah.
To keep your mana going.
Exactly, because back then mana is how you shot your arrows. You also had to have a quiver, for those that don't know, and you had to buy arrows. It was a big fat pain in the butt. I'm so glad they did away with just that part. I wouldn't have minded keeping the mana, but I am glad.
I sold a lot of bullets.
Random iron grunt chasing me down here, like, bro.
Yep, I sold a lot of bullets.
Yeah. So I will be. From what I gather, you start getting your talents points at level 10. It goes all the way up to max level, and you get 20. I think it's 20 in
30 and 30.
No, I swear it's 20 and 21. Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's 30 and 30.
Okay. You get the 30 to mess around with in the regular just class special, and then you get the other 30 to mess around in your spec.
Yeah, because we get 10 blank levels, and we're going to 70, and so they're giving us 1 every level after 10.
Yeah, so you're right. Oh no. Okay, I thought I DC'd. I was like, no. I always do that when I go into my garrison. Or where
you did have a spot earlier, by the way, where you turned into a robot, so there's going to be a section of audio that nobody heard.
Well, darn. Damn internet. So, everybody's favorite topic currently is our new friends, the Dracthyr. There's a lot of debate on liking them, hating them, loving them. And there's a lot of points to touch on with this, so we'll start with one and work our way down. The only being one class thing is really, really, really bugging people. A lot of people have wanted to have a I moved something. There we go. A dragon class in the game, and they gave us the dragon class in the game, but then it was like, but wait a minute. You know, a lot of people don't want to play a caster. A lot of people don't like to be a healer. And when you've got these big, bulky dragon boys and girls, it's weird that, one, they don't get a tank spec, and two, they can only be this one thing. Now, Ian has said that could change, but it's not going to change in the first, unless the outcry about it gets bad enough that they just go, okay, you know what, we were wrong. We're going to go ahead and give you guys the other classes that they can be. My son has turned up the TV so ungodly loud in the bedroom. I was like, what the heck is that sound? The whole, like, I can't be anything other than Evoker is just kind of just not my favorite thing. Like, I want to, I mean, obviously I don't mind per se. For me personally, we talked about that. I was kind of excited about finally getting to play the new spec at the beginning of an expansion, because normally I stick to healing, and we haven't had a healing hero class. But, you know, a lot of people would rather be a warrior, or they would rather be, you know, we have a new island. Are you telling me that none of them are hunters? Like, how did they, well, yeah, they were asleep. We'll touch on that later. The lore makes sense as to why they can't be something else, kind of, but they made the lore, you know what I mean? Like, Ian, the Blizzard has made, I need 3 more Frostgron.
Yeah, we're going to do it in the cave here. I guarantee they're all going to be in this cave.
They made their lore that way, and they can change it if they want to. And currently they don't want to change it, and that's fine too. But the whole point is that they were asleep while the dragons were gone. And so they were evokers before they went to sleep, and so that's all they know how to be. So at the beginning of the expansion, I don't think they're going to change it, but if they do, that would be lovely.
Not going to change during the expansion at all. It won't be until the next expansion when that change is made.
I could see them doing it as like the 10.2.
Now you are definitely huffing some copium. Because it's not going to be a thing. Hero class will remain what it's stated until the next expansion. I can almost guarantee it. Much like I guaranteed you won't be able to make 1 per server.
Well, you said that you saw that recently, right? Like, that's actually
right. Well, but I told you well before I saw it, and ended up being right, because your boy knows how Blizzard does its business.
So we've made plans to work around that. You do have to have a level 50 character in order to create a Dracthyr. Correct? It's level 50?
Yep.
And then you can only have 1 per realm. So...
At least it's not 1 per account like the other hero classes were.
That is true. So we will be working around that by having an extra character on other servers. At least I will, because I'm an alt fanatic, and that's what I do.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. I'll have 2 so that I can have both specs covered. I might go crazy and have 1 of each flight.
See, that's kind of my idea. The only thing is that Ian has said that they will not be doing the black as appearances. You don't get to have black Dragonflight appearance looks.
Now that will be something they cave on us.
Probably.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, probably. It seems ridiculous. Like, I get that the black has a bad batch of history with them, but you know, it's a thing. Gotta do the thing. Do we get to fly at 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slowly. Oh, no. No. Faster, full speed riding is 20.
Okay. So, what do you think? A lot of people have complained about how they look. What do you think?
So, I do think they could have given us the Dragonkin, the Onyxian Dragonkin style models, but given what they could do with Orisa in Overwatch.
So you wanted to have 4 legs.
Yeah. But I understand why they didn't. I don't have a problem with the gargoyle-ish features of the battle body.
Yeah, they did say they used the gargoyle, like Draven skeletal system to create the dragon. Males. I think they used
It's Worgen female.
Was it Worgen? I thought it was something else.
I'm pretty sure Ian said Worgen female.
Okay.
But I don't have a problem with the way they look. I do have a problem with not being able to fight in humanoid form, but I guess it would be kind of tough to strafe the battlefield with fire.
Now, in that, I think it was in the Talius and Inevital interview, you can fight in human form. And you do have to change when you do. Now, this is subject to change, obviously. And they could be getting the wrong information because there's been a lot of different things said to different people. Like right now, an interview with Ian, I tend to go with that one because Ian and Steve Denuza, those are kind of the head honchos of the game. They should know.
Denuzo,
sorry.
Denuzer. Steve Denuzer.
Whatever. And then, but like with Jackie, and I can't remember the other girl's name, they said something different. So from what I have heard,
It's away.
No, I'm in the right spot.
It's away.
Well, hang on, I gotta kill the pig.
I demand that you trust me.
I have to kill the pig. Hold on.
You didn't have to. You could have walked away.
I gotta kill the pig. Okay.
You didn't have to. You could have walked away when I told you this away. See?
So
all these boxes.
You can fight in humanoid form. You do have to switch to do the overhead attack, and you do have to switch to do the wing buffet and the tail attack. But supposedly, if you chose to have your humanoid as your main form, it will actually... There's a bunch of boxes down there, too. No?
I mean, you only need 10. How many do you need?
I need one more.
Well, go get one of them, then. Jesus.
The pigs have them. That's fine.
I mean, I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible, so that means not killing everything. I know that it's your penchant to drag everything around the world, but you don't have a tank, so...
I mean, I do. It's a tiny blueberry, though.
I mean, but yeah, they're not very good right now. So,
So supposedly you can make it an option to choose to be in your humanoid form more often, and change back into your humanoid form after doing your like breath attack and things like that. I don't know if that will stay that way or if that is totally completely correct.
Then it sort of feels like you're wasting GCDs changing forms.
Yeah. Oh, I don't disagree with that. But, I mean, some people, that might be their thing. Like I said, I thought it was really stupid that they put so much effort into the customizations of the humanoid form only to have you never be in humanoid form. I do think that they are very pretty. I do agree that they could have made them just a bit more bulky. They look a little scrawny.
And the humanoid form is bigger than the actual dragon form, according to what we've seen. They like lose weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they just get really skinny.
But I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with how they look, because if I just, here's the thing, if I can focus on making the dragon form look good,
which you can,
then I guess I don't really care what the human form looks like.
I agree. My only thing is like, if they're going to give us so many options,
like I said, I guess I don't care if I can make the dragon form look good.
Why give us so many options is where I was going.
Right, but like I said, I won't even focus on it if I can make the dragon form look good. So then I won't have to know what they look like. I won't have to feel bad.
I mean, fair. We talked about the fact that Briar, my Worgen druid, that's my main, hasn't seen human form since she left Gilneas, and you said that Bernison, your guardian druid main, had
never saw human form.
Seen it. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world if that's how.
Yeah, because having the benefit of Exile's reach,
a lot of people.
I never had to see Gilneas, even though I have seen Gilneas. All of my other Worgen have taken the bite.
Wee. Oh, I made it. Oh, ouch. Oh. And a lot of people have talked that it might be more for RP, like maybe you're RPing as a secret dragon, you know, like you're a demon hunter. That's what you tell everybody. That's why you have horns. But the reality is you're actually a dragon and hiding or something. Like, there's a lot of reasons to do it.
Yeah, but you got eyes, so that would be tough.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but maybe you can make your eyes look more humanoid. I don't know. The one thing I find very interesting is the humanoid faces look a bit feline to me. Did you notice that? Like, their eyes, I know that they're supposed to be lizard-esque, reptilian eyes. There we go. But to me, they look a bit feline. Not a terrible thing, but it's just, it's noticeable to me. Whee! I did find out, which I'm not shocked, and I don't know why people would be shocked, but maybe our listeners don't know this. They do not have Mage Tower content and will not have Mage Tower content. I don't know why people are shocked by that. Because they wouldn't have been around during the Mage Tower, so why be surprised about that? Is that just people looking for something to bitch about? Probably. Oh, you disappeared. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, but it makes sense. I don't know why people are upset about that. I mean, this is a brand new race that does not need the benefit of, flash photography. They don't need the snapshot of Legion content.
Correct. And so, have you heard the? Speaking of timelines, have you heard the, like, where they were, how they were created? And I mean, obviously, we'll get more of a backfill to this information when we're able to do the starting zone. But, like, do you know who they are and where they came from and what they've been doing this whole time?
Sleeping.
Yeah. So they went to sleep. In an interview Ian did with the Korean webzine Potion, he said the Dracthyr were asleep while the dragons were gone from the Dragon Isles, and now they're awakening due to a big bad returning. So a lot of people, they were created by Neltharion before he was Deathwing. So even before, like, he did, like, weird creation crap after he became Deathwing, but even before that, he was doing weird creation stuff. I mean, red flag. Like, animal cruelty as a child tends to lead to serial killers. Like, red flag, guys. You have somebody who is literally splicing dragon and human DNA to create these things, and you're shocked that when he went crazy, he continued his escapades? I mean, honestly, I'm not shocked. A lot of people
I mean, you can kind of tell because if you go through his raid, there's lots of science equipment around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like red flag back. This was 10,000 years ago. He made these things, these Dracthyr, and you're telling me that there was no red flag about that back. I mean, Alex Straza would have been around. Malagos would have been the Blue Dragonflight leader at the time, and Nozdormu, who's got this whole like I go into the future and crap. Nobody thought that was maybe not a good thing. That he was just randomly playing.
That's one of those things where like they might not have known. To be fair,
I mean,
it's sort of. When you look at it, yeah, it's terrible, and we obviously know it's terrible, but he could have been just completely hiding it.
I mean, I guess. Jeez. Hi, Big Secret. How are you? So a lot of people on the internet have speculated that the big bad coming is going to be Deathwing. And here's my...
Where are you at?
I just went out of the garrison to go east.
I'm just standing on that little hill here. Just want to make sure.
Getting ready to jump off said hill. 3, 2, 1, jumping. Oh, I jumped really hard and I missed. And I'm sad about it. I went through all that effort to get a goblin glider out and I missed when I jumped. My issue with it being Deathwing is he's their creator, and at the time he's like their dad, and I don't think, well, I mean, I don't know how they feel about him, but I wouldn't imagine they would think of him as a bad guy. So I don't necessarily know if I agree that the bad guy coming is Deathwing. I hope it's not. We'll put it that way. He had his time in the sun.
Well,
and
yes. But how? We have his head hanging in Stormwind.
We don't have Deathwing. We have his son and his daughter. We have
Deathwing's head hangs in Stormwind.
No, it's Nefarious, his son, Nefarious, there we go, and his daughter, Onyxia. Those are the two heads that hang in Stormwind. Because you collect them in the raid, and then you take them back and give them to, well, at the time it was Varian, but you give them to the leader, and then they hang them up outside. The only thing that we saw of Deathwing when he died, technically, was that piece of jaw that you loot your stuff from. Like, we just assume that we killed him. Now, I think we did kill him, because the aspects were there, and I feel like they would like know if he were still, like they would feel him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel a change in the wind, kind of shit. And they said, he's gone, and that's the end of that. I really, really, really want it to be Galakron. I doubt that it's gonna be him, but I really, really want it to be him. I love the lore. I find the lore interesting. Where is my quest? Are you my quest? Let me make sure my quest. You are my quest. Oh, wait, no. Is it another quest? Is it this one? Yes. But it's not this one. Oh, I don't have enough material to upgrade my blaze. I love the history of Galakron. I think it's really interesting. I think it's really creepy. Like what he did, turning cannibalistic and trying to eat everybody, and he got to the point to where nothing could satiate his hunger. And I mean, he's a scary dude. I realized recently, like I always read the books. Like I have Sylvanas. I need to read it. I haven't done that yet. And I started my WoW book reading time collecting started in I can't decide. I think the first book that I read, I have to look at the book list here, was it was Arthas.
Yeah.
Because, as we know, I am a big Lich King lover. I think Arthas' storyline is really interesting. I think it's really sad. I still think they did him there was so much hype about him in Shadowlands, and for him to be excuse my language, for him to be a fucking speck. This is all that's left of Arthas. Like, really? That you guys talked over and over and over again. Like, this is me bitching, excuse me. You guys talked over and over again about how you had to do that character right because of how big he was to this industry. And that's what you do with him, is you make him a ball of light, and that's what's left of him. Like, no, you failed. Like, to me, Blizzard doesn't fail that often because it's a game and it is what it is. But that, nah. Because I'm such a big fan of him, not your best work. Where are you? Where are you?
Yeah, of course. I'm on my way back.
Oh, okay. So I started reading. So I'm gonna put my. I could talk about that all day. How annoyed I am about that. So I'm gonna put a pin in that for another day. But I realized that actually, so I read Arthas, Stormrage, The Shattering, Thrall, Wolfheart, Tides of War, which is about Jaina Proudmoore, and then somehow I skipped Dawn of the Aspects and went down to Vol'jin, Shadows of the Horde, and then continued down War Crimes, Illidan, Before the Storm, Shadows Rising, and now Sylvanas. I cannot believe that somehow I missed that the Dawn of the Aspects story, because it is literally Galakron's story. And I'm like, oh, I must read. I must read it all, and I must read it now. So I will have that. Yay. Hey, I didn't have to go up there. Thank you. Hopefully I will get that book actually this week, and I'm going to read it before I read the story of Sylvanas, because we kind of know what happened with Sylvanas, mostly, like, her past. It's not a big secret what happened to her, and I really hope that Galakron is the next big bad, so I want to read that story so that I'm ready when he is, because I'm gonna say when, not if. And we talked about it, that you don't really know who you think is going to be the big bad in this next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it could. It could run the entire fucking gambit, right? Like, it could be
a primal elemental lord.
It could be It could be Sargeras.
It could. Well, I doubt that.
But it could be.
Yeah, but it could be.
I mean, his ass could come back to grab that sword.
It could be. Morazan, right? Which is
I don't know who that is.
It's Nosdormu's infinite dragon self. You know, I had just a side note. These poor little snails and their little bellies are so cold. Sorry. Now, going back to the Dracthyr for just a hot second. Do you remember last year? Well, you might not remember. Last year, I made we were making a predictions thing about what the next class. It was at the beginning of, right before the reveal for Shadowlands. It was when we started making predictions for what the next expansion was going to be about. Just you and me.
Frost Wolves.
Okay. Just you and me. This wasn't like we were talking about it on a stream or anything like that. And I said how badly I wanted a sand mage or a time mage, and it looks like the new Evoker class preservation is going to have that included in it. So I'm really hoping that it is going to be like fun, because there's going to be like some rewinding magic. I don't know how they're going to work that out.
I mean, it's basically going to rewind to heal people.
Right. But like, that's not only rewinding it for you, that's rewinding it for someone else. So it'll be
right, but it's just gonna be a healing spell under the guise of rewinding time. It's not gonna be actual time rewinding. We're not Tracer.
My thought is that it'll look a lot like a battle res, you know, like a whoopsie daisies. Oh, actually, you're not dead. You know what I mean? Like
it's possible.
Or like the resurrection or reincarnate that shamans have, like oopsie daisies, you fell over, rewind. No, you didn't. You're fine. Off you go now. That I could see.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to work a lot like the big giant hourglass does in End Times.
Which is the same thing. It's like, but you don't come back from the dead if you die during that. But you rewind. Well, no. You have the like you can time warp again. Back. Yeah, you get your cooldowns back. But I think this will actually like bring you back. There was something back here. So I'm excited about that. You know, I've always wanted some sort of timey-wimey mage. You know, the idea of it has been in the game for a while with the Bronze Dragonflight, and it's always surprised me that we've got, you know, Fire Mage, which is similar to the Red Dragon spec. We've got Frost Mage, same as Frost aspect. Druids kind of are similar to the green aspect, or are at least associated with it. There's nobody over there.
And if Chromie, our pocket-sized homie Nomi, isn't in charge of the Bronze Flight,
well, she won't be.
It's a 0 out of 10 game. Nah, he's not really in charge of it, though, is he? Because he's not the one we're talking to whenever we deal with the Bronze Flight. It's her. Well, him, technically. She's trans. But we only deal with Chromie.
Yeah. I mean, you very well could be correct. He is supposed to be the leader of the Bronze aspects. Now, if he chose to...
I think he's so old that he is out of touch, I think.
No shit's given.
Because I think he's as old as Deathwing, right?
They all are.
Not all of them.
Like, Chroma's not, isn't. But like... Well, yeah.
Calic isn't either.
Malagos would have been.
Well, he's dead now.
Right.
We took care of that.
Right. So, Calcagos is...
What happened to Malagos, anyway? That was one of the questions I always had. Well, I know that, but, like, what caused him to go kind of... bad?
Deathwing.
Was it just
Whispering to him.
because we weren't really around Deathwing at that point.
Right. Deathwing and the old gods were whispering to him.
So he had just gone mad.
Yeah, he went mad.
I remember doing the raid, but I never remembered why I was doing the raid.
I don't know why I'm doing this thing, but I'm gonna do it.
I mean, I fucking hated that raid.
Yeah. Not gonna disagree with that. It really needs to drop the Azure Drake for me today, like right now in this moment. That'd be great.
While we're not in there.
While we're not doing it, it just needs to plop right down in my bag, and we're good to go. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see how they're gonna make it work. I hope, like I do want it to be a little bit like a battle res, like especially like the way that I use it, where I fall over. But no, you didn't see that. I am already back up. You didn't even know what happened to me, which we all know is not true. You see me die. It tells you I die, but I like to pretend like it didn't happen as my coping mechanism for when it does happen.
I would like it to be something cool like that. I mean, that's fine. I think in general, I think that's okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for it to be interesting. I've been waiting for time magic.
Does your pig have torment?
Is my pig?
Or your blueberry, I mean, have torment?
My blueberry is dead. I just now noticed. Should I do Felguard instead? Or blueberry?
I mean, make sure its intimidating presence is on no matter what you do.
I'll try the Felguard. I think they do more damage.
They do the same damage now.
Away from me!
Oh, sorry. Yes, waiting.
I'm coming. Does he have intimidating? He does.
He may not have it yet.
He do not. Well, hang on.
Might be a little early yet.
Then. Hold on.
No, you can leave your Felguard out. He will spin to win and stuff like that.
His name is Screegozen. His name is Scree. I'm excited about my life right now.
Close your Facebook.
It's not. It's on my phone, and I tried to cover up the microphone, or not the microphone, the sound maker with my leg, and it didn't work.
Maybe you just put it on vibrate.
Mute it. Yeah. Okay.
Whatever your friends want to say is not as important as this.
Right. I don't think my friends are talking. I think it was just a random. Do we have more than one in this pile? Nope. Okay.
We had 4 in this pile.
I only got 1.
Oh, they don't count for you too?
No, they do. I only was able to stake 1. You staked the other ones.
There's 5. There's 5 in this. There are 5 in this pile. We should be up to 6.
You do.
There it is.
We go. I was gonna say you do have more than one, or you have one more than me. There we go. Words are hard, man. Jesus. So moving catty corner to
right here. You're good. We got all 8.
Oh yeah, that was right behind you. Moving catty corner to Dracthyr. The starting zone for the Dracthyr is going to be called the Forbidden Reach. And Ian says not only will we find out the story, obviously, of how the Dracthyr came to be, and learn why we are waking up, and maybe not necessarily who the big bad is, but that the aspects are back, so we're waking up. I'm assuming we're going to find out that Neltharion is no longer daddy, and that he is he's not available. And daddy went out for cigarettes and never came back. And
come on, child.
Oh, I can't go yet. Can I? Oh,
why?
Oh.
No, yes, you can. This is my 3rd time doing this quest in 3 days. Let's go.
I'm coming. Have you looked at the screenshots for the zones?
Nope.
No? Oh my
gosh. I'm trying to be completely surprised when we go into this thing.
No, you can't be surprised and have a podcast.
Yes, I can. No, I can be completely surprised and have a podcast.
So we had a conversation last time about how the zones were going to be bigger, and that the landmass was going to be bigger, and you said there's just no way because look at the size of Kalimdor.
Because we've seen Kalimdor, and I have seen a picture of the size of the landmass, and it is in no way bigger than Kalimdor.
So here's the thing: the largest landmass in WoW is actually Northrend. It's not Kalimdor. And
I call shenanigans. I would like proof of that.
This is Ian telling everybody this.
Yeah, but we also know that Ian is a fucking idiot.
Don't say that. That's not true. Not about this.
He nerfs mythic bosses when his guild gets to them.
Well, that's director's rights. That doesn't make him that makes him smart.
He's an idiot.
I have to
this way.
pick these up too.
Yeah, there's 3 of them back here.
I know, I'm coming. I'm just saying I have to actually pick them up. So it is directly related to, if not slightly larger than Northrend, which I find really interesting because Northrend has 10 zones and a I am red. I am angerfied. There was only 3 total. I see what you're saying. And there are only 4 zones in the new expansion. So they really are going to be massive zones if this is correct. If this information
I guess my problem is like if you lay it out next to Kalimdor and then try to convince me that this is bigger, I've got a problem with that. Because I know I get what you're trying to say. I'm just calling everybody wrong.
I don't think it works that way.
I mean, it does work that way because I have physical proof.
I mean, Kalimdor.
Even other people have done the math and have said Kalimdor is bigger. So, it's called it the biggest landmass in the game.
Well, I'm just telling you what I have.
Right, and there are videos on this shit on YouTube. So, and that's fine. I'm fine.
We did a breakdown of it.
We know to listen to him, right?
Well, he said not recently. This is like old Bellular did a breakdown of like how to measure the landmass in WoW.
But I don't think he came up with Northrend.
I don't remember. This was a long time ago. But so according to the reveal, the draw engine had to be changed in order to show just how big the new zones are, and that they share the same landmass size, like I said, as Northrend. Whether that is true, that it means that it's the biggest one to date or not, it's gonna be big. So what Preach and Bellular are bitching about is like, is it gonna look full or is it gonna look really bare because it's so big? Is it going to feel as massive as they're trying to make it sound like it's going to be? I don't know.
Here's my problem with whatever it is they think they're saying. I've played Final Fantasy XIV, and there are sections of Final Fantasy XIV in its zones where there is literally nothing. It's just hills and rocks.
Yeah.
And so, if they want to bitch about things being barren, they just need to stop. These are people that should have walked away from this game years ago, but it made them so much money that they can't.
Yeah.
So now all they can do is complain about the fucking game.
How do you feel about, you said you haven't looked. So in the expansion reveal, when they show
all I've seen is what those are.
How do you feel about color? Oh my god, I'm so excited.
We've got color now, though. We've got lots of gorgeous color now.
Monotone, the Ardenweald, it's all that kind of bluish purple color, and Torghast is that just everything in Torghast is the same color. The monotoned zones. These actually have depth and color and
you really gonna try to convince me that after 5 years of green and black, of fell green and black, that the color we have now isn't just gorgeous?
I'm not saying that
nice.
It was a better thing. I'm saying even more. Okay, so we had the black and the green and the fell, and it was terrible. And then we had color. Like, don't get me wrong, you know that I love Ardenweald. I think it is a beautiful zone. I love the skyline. I like the color. I love being a moth. Like I Ardenweald for the win.
You're dangerously close to like.
But like in
me reporting you.
but like in Revendreth, when you go to Revendreth, it's all that stone color, and then you go to the ash.
Okay, but we're talking about Gothic architecture here, but that's still vastly different than what we've had.
Are you excited for more color? We'll put it that way.
No.
I'm excited for more color.
Because you know what I would be excited for is if I got Stormheim again.
That had color and terrain changes.
Yeah, Stormheim was gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I'm literally fine with everything we've had. Since Legion, even BFA, I was fine with everything we had.
I guess to me there wasn't enough color change throughout. Like, you would go in a zone and it felt like it had like two choices. Ardenweald, it's all that blue and purple color, except for when you go down south, it's the dead zone, right, where the Goron are and everything. And then you go to Revendreth, it's all the Gothic architecture color, it's all gray stone. That's kind of it, with some red undertones. And then...
But, I mean, you got to understand, that's how... It's basically modeled after the Nightmare Lands in D&D, and that's how it works. The zones have one overlord, basically, and that overlord dictates what the land looks like in the entire zone, and it actually makes sense. The entire zone makes sense because of who runs it.
Fair. Okay.
Now, I know a lot of people, Nightmare Lands is going to be something that's like...
What?
kind of above people's heads, and I get it, because that's a deep cut. But if people look up the Nightmare Lands from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and then compare it to what we've got right now in World of Warcraft, it's going to make so much more sense.
Okay. Well, then I too should look it up, because I don't know. I get it though, because I'm a Critical Role fan, so I get like Matt lays down the whole like architecture of an area, and I get what you're saying.
Right, and it's something like that. But like the Nightmare Lands is part of Ravenloft, and what happens is the Nightmare Lands surround Baron Strahd Venzarovich's lands. They're the zones that surround it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And each one has an overlord that controls it, has ultimate power.
So, I mean, it's very similar to what we're going into then. They talked about...
Well, it's literally like what we have right now.
Yeah.
So, Denathrius, being a vampire.
Gothic.
And, yep. And then, the Winter Queen and her autumnal forest.
White.
And then, the dead Meldraxi.
Yeah.
And thus the land. And it's literally the exact same thing. So the entire zone makes sense based on who is in control of it.
So I guess it shouldn't be that I said, are we looking forward to color? I guess it should be, are we looking forward to new zones?
Are we looking forward to a different variety? Yes.
So I did a little research. Oops, sorry. And so like I said, the Forbidden Reach, that's where the new Dracthyr start. And then the actual first...
Wait, let me stop you there, though. So, because I have kind of a gripe with where the Dracthyr start. Because they are only going to be there for 2 levels.
Okay.
So that's kind of weird for me.
I think that you don't necessarily... There's like a little part to the zone, like the starting area, and then there's like the bigger... Because they said even players that come to the island... Like if Burnison were to go there or Briar were to go there, we can go in there and there'll be quests for us too. So I think there's like a central spot for them to start, and then. Right,
but the thing is that their starting zone is only 2 levels. That's kind of lame. You got 2 levels to squeeze in a story.
Why am I at 1 and you're at 101? That's weird.
You're at 101.
Oh, well, on my screen it says 1. So the first zone that we as explorers get to come to, now again we'll be playing Dracthyr pretty right on the nose, is the Waking Shore. So it's the first zone you enter in the game. There's a lot of proto-drakes that are flying around, and they're picking off your exploration crew that's with you, or team. And then they are... there's the whole PvP element, which I personally I'm not a big war mode in Alliance side. We die every time. I'm not a big fan. But supposedly you'll be able to jump back and forth between the ships and cause havoc, which is kind of fun if you're somebody that enjoys causing havoc. So that'll be... Get the flight point. Whoopsies.
Yeah. But I mean, my point is that you have 2 levels to squeeze in that beginning story. And that doesn't seem good.
I don't know. Again, that'll be one of those things that until I'm in it and it feels bad, or if we get a beta invite or whatever, until I'm in it, I can't have an opinion about that, because it could be that it takes you quite a few quests to get those 2 levels.
Well, it's going to have to, because like they can't have us coming out at higher than 60, because you'll be able to get to 60 before before Dragonflight comes out.
Yeah.
We're going in.
The zone, according to what I have researched about it, the zone is based off the Black Dragonflight, or Black Dragon magic, I should say. This is also where all of the ducks that everybody's having absolute freak out over. I guess I don't totally understand that. Yay, ducks, whatever. But ducks.
You have cookies yet?
Let me look. I don't think so, because it didn't pop up on my...
Okay.
I have Hand of Gul'dan that I apparently have not put on my...
I've got exhilaration. I just...
Let me check. Oh, yes, I do. Here you go.
Just a second, I'll be right there.
Oh, I can make them. I don't have a well yet, but I can.
You can hand them to me. Yeah, I was gonna say you can hand me one.
So that is kind of fun. That the first zone that we go to is the based off the Black Dragon flight. I am confused about the ducks. I don't get it. Maybe it's just because I haven't been like on the forums.
Well, you a duck hater?
I'm not a duck hater. I don't get it.
Chad, she's a duck hater.
I am not a duck hater. I love ducks. I just don't get it. I don't know why.
She hates ducks, horses, dogs, cats, children.
I give up. I don't get it. I don't get the hype, I should say. I get the ducks are cute. I've seen the ducks. They are very cute.
It's just a new domestic animal they've added to the game. It's been a while since they've done that.
Yes. Because holy goodness. So then the next zone that we go to is let me see if I can do the Onaharan Plains. I think I said that right.
You didn't, but we'll let it slide this time.
OHN''HARAN. Onaharan. This is both like a big open plains area and a forested area. So we meet the centaurs in this area, and I'm kind of excited because according to Blizzard, we're going to learn about their culture and earn their trust and learn more about I totally missed. And learn about their culture, which is kind of cool. I mean, we've spent a lot of, I don't know about you, but I've spent a lot of time killing centaurs in the past.
Yeah,
Guy not attack? There we go. I was going to say, how is that guy not attacking you?
He just spawned.
I'm going to kill him. So the plains are for the centaurs, and the forested area that's in the same zone is the green dragonflight. So that's kind of cool. Originally, according to research, the centaurs and the green dragonflight used to fight like pretty bad, almost wiped each other, brought each other to extinction almost, and then decided that maybe fighting with each other wasn't exactly the best choice. And I want to do the thing. Hold on. Does it do the thing?
I was ahead of you earlier. How did you get an entire level ahead of me?
I don't know. I haven't done anything. That's a new character. I have rested experience.
I did too.
Are you still in rested experience? Because I have one more bar.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I still have half a level of rested XP.
No, well then you'll catch up to me because I'm about to run out.
I never catch up to you. You always seem to have rested XP.
It'll go away here in a minute. The third zone in the set is the Azure Span. And if I remember correctly, it's also the biggest zone in the expansion. Where are you going? Where are you going?
All I want is to get the key I forgot.
Where going? It's a multi-tier zone. So the whole dragon flying thing, you actually won't be able to get to parts of the zone until your dragon flying friend can take you higher, which I think is kind of cool. It's kind of, I guess, their way of time gating something. It'll depend on how much time you spend making friends with your dragon in order to get to a different area.
Basically, it means how good are you at flying, correct?
Right. Well, I mean, your dragon actually will learn. According to Ian, you'll actually have not very good flying or gliding or whatever it is that it does. And then as you work with it more and it levels up in however it's going to level up and move and be different, you'll actually do that. Like create the ability to go higher, create the ability to fly faster, create the ability to jump or barrel roll or dive or whatever as you go. So it starts out with a lush, like, area, green, lush zone, and then it changes as you go higher up. It turns into a like a more tundra-esque snow zone. This is where we find the kobolds or the gnolls or whatever. The gnolls, not kobolds, sorry. The gnolls and the Tuskar are up there as well. And then in that, you'll do kind of something similar to the Centaur. You'll learn about the Tuskar culture, have a reputation with them, earn, again, I'm going to say it, earn, hopefully, the otter mount.
No shot.
A girl can hope. And then the final zone is called Thaldrazis. It is also the location of the major hub, like our city hub, like the Dalaran of Legion. And that's called Valdrakken, which I think is kind of pretty. It's a pretty name. And Valdrakken is like, it has a spot in it for all of the aspects. So there's like a library and a garden, or two different gardens. The zone itself is primarily Red Dragon aspect information, and then there's a premier section for each of the aspects inside the city. So that's kind of cool. Kind of excited about that. I'm ready for new stuff. Like, we've been here. We went to the Zeth Mortis. I kind of wish that Zeth Mortis had maybe more than one zone to it. Kind of like how they did Argus. There was stuff to do. There were places to go. And it just seems a bit like there's not places to go.
There's definitely nothing to do, that's for sure.
Yeah. So,
other than just like grind out,
do what we're doing.
or unless you want to grind out moats.
Yeah.
To build pets and stuff.
To build the things.
I mean, because like, I was listening to Tali the other day. He's like, I've got 6,000 of these Sandworn relics and literally can't use them, and like couldn't use them from day one.
Yeah. I don't know what the point of those things were, because this stuff is not account bound.
Yeah, and they were completely useless from day one because I grew my Cypher knowledge so quickly that I outgrew that Sandworn stuff before I could even buy one piece.
Yeah, same. Well, that's not true. I think I think I bought a single piece.
Yeah, I bought a 1 year piece for Transmog.
Yeah. So
a one year piece.
I'm ready for there to be something to do. Obviously, we are doing the something to do that we have currently, and this is typically, just so everybody knows, this is typically what happens to us at the end of an expansion, is we wind up just leveling a gabillion characters, and it's usually me being like, hey, let's do this, hey, crazy idea, let's level 72 fucking characters, over the next year.
Be fair, in about 2 weeks, she will give up, and I won't hear from her again.
That's not true.
For a while.
Where are we going?
Oh shit! Goddamn AAP. Thank you. It'd be the elementalists.
On that account-wide thing that I just said.
Why did you switch to your?
Oh, I was hoping, because it says summon Sayad, so I was hoping it would summon him.
Oh.
But you have to go to Ogremar to adjust your summon succubus thing. So
yeah, you gotta get the glyph.
So I can't do the thing currently.
Oh.
There we go. My blueberry is coming to save you. Don't forget.
Oh, I don't need saving. I just want help.
Don't forget your garrison call to arms if you need it.
Oh, I'm not wasting call to arms on normals. We've got elites that we're going to be killing here eventually.
I have 3. I'm sure you have 3, so we should be able to just cure them.
Do I have 2 or 3? Yeah, I have 3. Yeah, we should be good.
So I said those Sandborn relics would have been nice if they had been account wide, like you could use them to buy gear for your alts and stuff.
I mean, to be fair, like, the stuff was so expensive.
Yeah. Like, ridiculously expensive.
It was like 200 or something like that, which is, I guess it's fine, but not for the item level there. The last one's back there.
Oh, okay. I found one, but yeah, we'll go with that one instead.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, we don't have to fight for this one.
Yeah.
But, like, how are you moving faster than me?
I have the Shaman Stone.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mine went away when I feigned death. It's weird.
I run like the wind, bullseye.
I got the doggy so that I get extra DPS out of him. And yeah, they were so expensive. It was like the cheapest one is like 150, but by the time you could get 150 of those Sandworn relics, it's useless to you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's so...
You've gone off and done patterns within patterns, 6 times, and...
Because, I mean, I don't mess with the command console or whatever until I've got 750 ciphers, and by then you've gotten a whole other set of item levels.
Yeah, exactly. But, so that stuff not being account-wide, especially because your main out-levels it before you can even afford it, in the interview, in that roundtable between Steve Deneuser and Ian with T&E, Talia Navital, they said almost everything in the game that's like cosmetic or something like that will be account wide. So it's nice, especially with alts, and you get that soulbound thing.
Yeah, but did they mean like you could just everybody could use everything or what? Because
no, like a piece of cosmetic gear, you can send it to whoever it needs to go to. If you I think you can learn it. You can't use it, but I think you can learn it.
Right, but these items were the Sandworn relics. Those were supposed to be actual upgrades.
Right. This is not. This is just talking about the fact that a lot more cosmetic stuff will be account wide, and reputation. I think is going to be closer to account wide. Like there's just.
Well, it definitely needs to be a thing, but
for sure, there's no reason once I have done this that I have to do it again. I no longer have rested XP. I'm not going up there. Just a second. I'm putting on stuff that I haven't looked at here in a hot sec. There we go. Like boots and pants and pants and boots. There we go. So, I mean, that'll be nice for alts. That's my big thing. As an alt army, like, fanatic, like me, it'll be nice that a lot of the stuff is account-wide. And I really hope it kind of paves the way for better like, alt armying having kind of thing. Because there are a lot of people that enjoy playing a lot of races and classes and specs, and you shouldn't punish people that don't necessarily, like, just because my big thing is not raiding doesn't mean that I should be punished by not being able to do X, Y, and Z on my, fourth or fifth character because I don't want to do it because I've already done it, Like when they made covenant swapping easier, because once you have a max in that covenant, you could swap freely as you saw fit. Like, that was a big deal. That made it so much easier for so many people. I know I refused to get the door when we went to Zeth Mortis because I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna jump up this damn thing if it kills me. But, I know a lot of people that would have just gone and gotten the door so that they could, I think it was Shelly. Was it Shelly? The one that it was like you had to jump up the front of the thing and then move over sideways and jump up it more. But if you had a Door of Shadows, you just jumped up to where it was and that was it. Did I lose
What?
you? Oh, there you are.
No. Said I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I just yeah, I don't know. I think that we need more account wide stuff, but I don't know if actual like implementation is there yet. And I don't think it will be there for Dragonflight. It might be there eventually, but I don't think it will be there on Dragonflight launch. But with all of the extra like all of the extra like gear transmods and stuff they want us to have, like the grays and stuff that they want us to be able to transmod.
Oh yeah, that's a new thing.
That's gonna have to be something that anybody can put on and learn.
Yeah.
Because some people are only going to want one character.
Screw it. I forgot. I think I'm gonna lose them because I don't think that you can be away from them. Oh yeah, she's still back there. Damn it! I always forget that. So they said that they're gonna make a way for you to get it, but I'm like kicking myself in the butt for not creating a level 1. Well, I guess it would have been soulbound. Like, I don't even know how you would have kept the starter gear that everybody got, because they changed it to the new starter gear.
And then you can't even get that stuff that you see on the creation screen anymore. Like when you do the like if you do the trial stuff, that shiny gear that they put on the trial characters, you can't even get that anymore.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to get that stuff.
Some of it is based off of like the tier set that was like at the time, but not all of it.
Well, like the paladin stuff looks amazing.
Yeah.
But you can't.
I know.
Some people got it, and you can't get it.
I think I have it. Because I made a paladin during, like, this was back when the trials first came out.
Yeah.
And if you trialed the character, you got the gear. But I don't have it all, because I didn't trial everything, because I didn't know that. After this guy stops talking, I'm gonna put a pin in our conversation. I have got to get a glass of water. I drank my entire bottle of water and I'm dying a slow death. So it'll give us a chance to show off our new BRB. And I will be right back. 1 sec. Sorry about that. I had to get a bottle of water. My throat's getting a little dry. Okay. So I'm excited a little bit about that white stuff. It does actually give us, and the gray items as well. It does give us some kind of cool looking weaponry that has never been available as a transmog. Yo, Serenade, let's go.
Sorry, just a second.
That's all right. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping eventually, if you worked hard enough to get the cosmetics for a holiday, I really hope eventually they'll just let you wear them whenever you want to.
Yeah.
But until
because
then,
I got a set of bunny ears I'm looking to wear all year round.
No, and I've got those flower crowns that I worked so hard to get.
Yeah, I like those flower crowns too.
So that's exciting. So we touched on moving on. We touched on Dragonflight riding earlier. Like we talked about how you're gonna have to level up your Drake in order to get to better places in that Azure span and so on and so forth. But what do you think about having a dragon companion that's just following you around?
I mean, it's not following you around. You're basically keeping it in your pocket.
You keep it in your pocket. You fly on it when you feel like it. But like having
Where are you going?
To kill the rockworms. No. Oh, I didn't know there was one right there.
There were 3 right
There
there.
were 3 right there. I was gonna go kill another 3. So
I mean,
you form a bond with it.
I will probably like. Be fair. I will probably like give it as much attention as I think I can, but I'm not gonna sit here. I don't want to kill this Ashman Kleptooth, but I'm gonna. I will probably give it as much attention as I think I can, but I'm not gonna sit here and play How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, see, that's the part that I'm excited about.
My problem with it is, if it's anything like the Cloud Serpent races.
No, they said this was more akin to the Griffin riding in Guild Wars, which I didn't play.
That was a terrible system.
Well,
if that's the case, I will never get anything.
Well,
because
shit.
I couldn't do the Griffin riding.
I didn't play Guild Wars, so I have no idea. Did you? You told me you didn't, and you probably still haven't. Did you look at what they look like?
I saw the release pictures of them.
Have you decided? Because it doesn't matter which one you pick. I don't think the stats are better on one versus another. But did you pick one that you like, that you think it's the one that you're gonna have as your companion?
I gotta make him as spiky as humanly possible because I want it to be uncomfortable when I'm sitting on him.
Well, yeah, but like, do you want a Drake or a Wyvern or a Proto Drake or a?
It's gonna be a Proto. It'll probably be a Proto Drake. I'll make a final decision when we're there, but.
Why do we have to use the Hearthstone? We just skip this one, right? Because there's no reason to do it.
Well, they want us to Hearthstone to Ogre dummy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm special. So, the better you are at...
We also, while we're here...
Get our higher flying, or our higher...
Well, they want us to flag for PvP, is what I was going to say.
I have opted into war mode, apparently.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, you bond with a dragon. It goes in your pocket. You pull it out when you need it. The stronger the bond, the better you are at going somewhere and how fast you get there. You get more stamina. You get faster. You get a better understanding of how to like push your buttons and things like that. The more you work with and bond to your dragon, the better it is. So you're gonna make a proto Drake. I have decided that I'm gonna make an actual Drake. So it's the option if you go and you're listening to this and you go to the Dragonflight website, it's the 4th option in the set, and his is the 1st option in the set. I too plan on making him look like as badass as possible. I think that horns and spikes on a dragon are good, or like good looking. So I'm all for that. And ready for it.
Point this way.
We're going this way. So I'm excited. I'm we did the Netherwing grind. Well, sort of. You did it in a day. I did it. It took forever. But we did the Netherwing grinding. We did the Cloud Serpent grinding. So I'm
slime.
I'm a little concerned. Oh, we used our Garrison Hearthstone. I'm a little concerned. Oh wait, can I talk to the guy?
What?
To change my succubus. I can. He's over here. Yay. I'll be right there. I'm gonna change my succubus to a manubus.
Incubus.
I know what they're called.
Do you? Do you?
I do. I'm a little concerned about the grindy aspect of it. Because it could wind up being one of those things where it's like, hi, I'm old. I'm older. I don't have the reflexes to do this crap anymore. Help.
Like I said, I will try it. I will give it a fair shake. We'll see from there.
Yeah. So my last like tidbit that I got from interviewing, I'm stuck on a wall. I'm stuck. There we go. From listening to the interviews, from reading Wowhead, looking at things, is how the Dragonflight dungeon things are gonna go. I don't know. Like, it's not a build. It's like how they're gonna roll it out for Mythic Plusing and things like that. So Ian. Go ahead.
So let me start this off by getting one thing very abundantly clear for everybody who might be listening to us. We will get all 8 dungeons, normal and heroic, off the bat.
Yes.
We will not have to worry about 4 new dungeons, 4 old dungeons, for regular or for normal and heroic rotations. We'll get all 8 Dragonflight dungeons at the beginning. Mythic Pluses will have 4 new dungeons and 4 old dungeons rolled out in the way the expansion works. For everybody complaining, normal and heroic will have its regular.
Right. And so will regular, just like Mythic 0.
Yes.
But Mythic Plus specifically, there will, so yeah, like you said, there will be 8 dungeons total. And I'm beyond excited for the new dungeons. Like, just, I love dungeons. You and I started doing, where the, oh, there it is. You and I started doing Mythic Plus when it was like first came out back in Legion. I think we busted that out in like 2 weeks because we just had to wait. I want to change the form of one of my demons. I want an incubus. Thank you.
Can you change one of them?
Strengthen your pact with your incubus, ensuring your ritual will only summon them. Yes, that's what I want. His name is Bro. Oh my god, his name is Bro. That's hysterical. I'm sorry. My demon's name, his full name is Bro Murdo. Bromurdo. My demon's name is Bro. I'm never using another demon again. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think you can do more than just the one. Bro. That's great. Okay. Now I'm coming back. I love dungeons. I'm excited for them. The plan for Mythic Plus season is to have 4 Dragonflight dungeons and 4 old expansion dungeons for season 1, and then in season 2 they'll roll out 4 more Dragonflight dungeons and then 4 more expansion dungeons. And then I'm assuming in 3 and 4 they'll switch it back and then switch it back again with the 4 Dragonflight choices. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited about that. The first Mythic Plus affix for Dragonflight has not been released. I know what it is for season 4 though of Shadowlands. It's called Disguised. I don't know what that means, but that's what it's called. I saw it in a post earlier today. So how about you? Are you excited for the dungeons? There's not been a whole lot of information about them. Like, I know we read some of it the other day when we were offline. So we know what like 3 of them are as far as the storyline behind them. I know one of them's like the laboratory for the Black Dragonflight that's been taken over by the Jarden. But yeah, like, how do you feel about the dungeons?
I'm definitely ready for some dungeons. The last couple of expansions dungeons have been really, really, really hit or miss. Mm-hmm. It's hard to pick serious favorites out of them. I mean, there are some in there that I really, really like, but it's definitely like, man. there were Legion had some excellent dungeons, and it's really difficult to pick some good ones in the last couple of expansions.
Yeah. I will say that I think my favorite OG dungeon was Stockades, which is weird. It's really short. I think that's why I liked it. No, that's not true. Well, rephrase. It might be true. Was Shadowfang Keep an OG dungeon, or was that a Burning Crusade dungeon?
I don't know.
Well, okay. So if it was an OG, which I'm not sure, I do not know, but Shadowfang Keep is my all-time favorite dungeon of all time, like 100% my favorite dungeon. And then my my favorite Kata dungeon is actually one of your least favorites. It's the one with the chick you have to stun in front of the beams. And at the end you fight one of the elemental lords. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's Blackrock.
That one. That's my favorite. You're always like, I hate this dungeon so much. And I'm like, I like it.
I only don't like that one is because people can't do the one
mechanic. They don't do the beam, yeah. And then it's like, oh, and now we're dead.
Could you imagine, like, stocks is a Mythic Plus? Take, like, 3 minutes to do Stockades.
And just pull the whole thing. Let's go. All done. Thank you. And then, let's see, what was after Kata? Mists. I would say my favorite Mist one is the Jade Palace. Is that what it's called? That's not what it's called, but that's what it is. What is that place called?
Will Jade win?
Yes. And then, Wad is probably the Evergreen? No. What is that place called?
Everbloom.
That one. Thank you. See, thank God for you. Everbloom. And then Legion.
Thank God for time walking.
Right.
Otherwise I wouldn't remember these things.
Legion. I don't think there was one that you and I didn't like. Maybe Quarter.
I like them all. Quarter Stars, Arcway.
I wasn't a big fan of Arcway, I guess.
It's because you're a puss.
I guess that would be the one. Although Court of Stars is the one that gave us the most trouble when we were...
What are you doing?
It says to go get the thing, and I'm getting the thing.
No, it doesn't. It says to kill 15 necrophytes and fell wolves.
It says to go in the cave and get the toy.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Oh, mine doesn't say that. That's why I tell you to follow me.
Get the thing.
Okay, mine does not say that.
Watch it. See? It went forward. Now we kill the thingies.
Mine still does not say to go in there. It will tell me to go in there afterwards. I guarantee it.
Oh, it's an orc hunter. I was like, who just... What? How? What? But it's a guy. BFA... My favorite dungeon was Waycrest Manor, but I hated it in Mythic Plus. Absolutely hated it in Mythic Plus.
I have my problem with like the BFA Mythic Pluses was that you just kept choosing the wrong people to go with, and it's not really there wasn't much you could do about that, but it's just the unfortunate truth.
It was terrible. And then Shadowlands. We talked about this the other day. What's our favorite one?
Theater Pain.
Theater Pain. That's the one. And then I like Sanguine Depths.
I like Sanguine Depths.
There's not one that
It's pretty straightforward.
There's not one that I'm like, ugh, I hate it when we have to go here.
I don't like Spires of Ascension.
I never picked to go there, so I guess that would be one for me too. Like I never go.
Because I don't like having to. I don't. Yeah. Because I don't like having to. I don't like having to feel with. I don't like having to deal with Devos.
Yeah.
Because whenever I try to throw the spear, it's without fail. Even though she's been stationary for 800 years, she moves
right when you throw it.
every single time I throw the spear.
To throw it. I'm like, no, please don't move. So yeah, I guess that would be the one because I never pick to go there because I'm always afraid that she's gonna move or I'm gonna do it wrong. And I've thrown that thing so many times and she's moved and I'm just like, ugh, fine.
Because then at that point, you've screwed your party.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to new dungeons just in general. And mythic plussing because I know that's kind of our end expansion, this expansion, a little bit of the end goal. Well, it's my end goal, and I think I'm dragging you along, but love you, appreciate that you'll go with me.
You don't stick around long enough to do any of that stuff, though. You're always gone.
I have a full-time
job. So do I. It's called dealing with your dumbass.
That's true.
You're like a child that I didn't want.
Well, deal with it, Daddy.
Oh, that's nice. Don't let your husband actually hear you call me that.
He turned and looked at me like the fuck.
Where are you coming?
Yeah, I went out the wrong door, but I'm still making my way that way. I'm making my way downtown. Here we go.
I stopped waited for you. That's why you're gonna beat me there.
No, I'm right here.
But like, here's the thing though. They really need like. I hate to keep going back to Legion dungeons, but Legion dungeon path thing made sense, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And the mythic plussing was fun.
Except for Archway. Like, you could get lost pretty easily in Archway, I guess. But, like, even in Court of Stars, you couldn't really get lost, like, because, you had dots to, like, show you where to go and who to fight and things like that. But, I don't think that...
You're missing something.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that some of the dungeons make sense in this. Like, putting the orbs in Theater of Pain. Just give me a path. And I don't know.
I mean,
like, I don't remember the name of the Legion dungeon where you have to go on to Naglfar.
The Maw.
And fight Hela. Yeah, Maw of Souls. But, like, that dungeon was short and sweet, but, when you added things to it, it became difficult, but it was fine. Mm-hmm. And it made sense. You had two pathways you could take. The door was either open or it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
So, I mean...
So your hope is that it will make sense and be linear to the
paths don't need to be complicated.
Yeah.
There are better ways to make it difficult. Because Mists of Tyrannus Scythe is just a pain in the ass.
I do not disagree with that.
Like, at this point I have a weak aura that was created that does the maze for me. As long as I'm past the second door. Yeah. It just automatically does the maze for me. It doesn't matter. I don't have to touch anything. It just knows.
And I let you do the thing.
Like, it puts lines on my screen. It's just like, this is the direction you go. This is the door you go.
This is where we're going. go this way.
Yep. And it works in Mythic Plus, Mythic, Normal, Heroic. I don't have to think about it anymore.
So we've touched literally off of everything that I've got. The only thing I've got left is touching on the WoW Classic Wrath of the Lich King information. One, the beta opt-in is up on their website, so you just go onto the Blizzard page, go to the Wrath of the Lich King information, and then opt into the beta if you want to test that out. And hopefully you can climb right on in there if that's where you want to go. I did do the opting in, so hopefully we'll get to do that. But so the information that I have is, we talked about last week that in order to have a Death Knight back in the day, just like with having a Dracthyr this time, you had to, nope, can't go that way. You had to have a max level character in order to play a Death Knight, and in the information on their website it says that you do not have to do that this time. You will be able to create.
They told us that in their reveal.
And
as well.
Then
I went back and watched it again.
That's good. You will be able to level it before Wrath of the Lich King Classic actually comes out. So like the pre-patching stuff for it.
Oh god, that means people are gonna have to live through the fucking Scourge again.
In Classic though, not us.
Well, but I mean, like in Classic, people are gonna have to live through the Scourge again.
Yes.
I might go back just to see that shit go down.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll let it go down like that, because like now that they know what caused it, they might not let it go that way. But you never know.
No, that Scourge was meant to go that way. The one that wasn't meant to go that way was a completely different thing. But the Scourge, that was designed to go that way.
So, I mean, yeah.
People were supposed to get infected and kill people.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Shatrath was a mess. It was hilarious. You weren't safe anywhere. I tried to hide in Stormwind, Shatrath, Azure Wrath.
No, you just go out in the wild and live out in the wild for a little while.
You were not safe in the wild either. But you gotta remember, this was WoW at its prime. You were safe nowhere.
And then the last things is you don't have to purchase Classic in order to be able to play it. You purchased it forever ago. You don't have to purchase it again. And there is one boost available per account. So it's not, you can only have one. You do have to buy it, I believe. You don't get a free one. And so if you want to boost your Death Knight, you can.
No, you cannot. You cannot apply a boost to a Death Knight.
Apply the boost to the main thing of the expansion. But if you want to boost a character so that you can have a Death Knight, you don't have to do that. That's what's so nice. Like, you don't have to waste it on boosting in order to be able to get the new thing. So that's
because I boosted a Druid.
Yeah, and I boosted a Shaman. Which I might move them from Classic to Wrath, because you will be able to do that as well. And that way I have something other than a Death, because I probably won't play Death Knight. I didn't play Death Knight back then. I like Death Knight, don't get me wrong. I will probably level one, but I will probably be a healer so that you can be a Death Knight. Because you were so freaking good at it.
Big thing is that I will probably not move my Druid. Well, I might move the Druid, but they were Horde. So I might move the Druid, but I definitely am just going to make a Paladin, because that was what I played in both in that expansion. I was a Holy Paladin and then a Blood Death Knight.
On mine, so I'm just gonna fly. Go ahead. You can Hearth. I'll fly.
I already did.
Yeah.
So I mean, so I'll be leveling 2 characters from scratch. Well, I guess I could boost the paladin, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So, do you have any... So, lastly, this is the last thing. Do you have any concerns, like big concerns, about the expansion? And I'm talking like the simplicity, not having legendaries.
So, my biggest concern I'm going to be 43 when the expansion comes out. Maybe 44, depending on when it comes out in the year next year. My actual biggest concern is that I might be too old to play the game effectively, reflex-wise. So we will have to see how that goes within whatever new systems they give us. I know that we're not going to have a bunch of new and hopefully like very difficult systems to master, because we're not going to have to deal with borrowed power, things like that. But I'm starting to worry that I'm actually getting too old to be able to stay ahead of the wave of things that we have to grind.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Because I was in my mid to late 30s in Legion, and I was capable of doing that. I'm not anymore. I was able to push people to be their best in Legion, probably to my own detriment. But I got people, their artifact weapon was as good as it could possibly be. And yeah, people hated me for it, but then they were like, oh, well, this was probably good. And so, I don't know if I can do that anymore. Now, granted, we're probably not going to have to do that. But rep grinds and stuff like that have started taking forever.
Yeah, they have.
Like, I've completely given up on getting exalted with the Xerath Mortis cards. Enlightened? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I've completely given up getting to exalted. Now, there's a mount there for that, and I want it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm tired of being in Xerath Mortis.
Because I'm getting like 5 or 10 or whatever rep at a time. Fuck that.
Well, like, if my characters, this is along the lines of that whole account wide thing. Like, if my main has reached a certain point, I think that all of your characters should just help you grind that reputation. It's still you. That's my thing. Is like, it is still you. Even though you're on a different character, at the end of the day, your account is still who you are. And so putting this whole thing that, each character has to grind the rep in order to... No. I disagree with that. Because I play too many characters to have to do that with. Like, the thought of having to grind that rep on multiple characters, it's... No. No. And I won't. So I totally understand where you're coming from about that. I'm definitely done with grinding out there. This is probably what I'm going to be doing for the next while. I'm gonna smack him, chat. That's what I'm gonna do. That was my husband's iPad. Sorry. I gave him a death glare, and he gave me the oopsie daisies. Look back.
Oopsie poopsie.
Where did you go, bro? I do. I love that. He just said I knew you'd want me back. Yes, I do. Because your name is Bro, and it makes me happy.
Get your tank out.
No, I said I'm never using another name.
You can use that in dungeons, but it's just you and I, because I don't have a pet.
Damn it.
I'm a lone wolf.
Damn it. Fine. I would say for me personally, my biggest concern for the upcoming expansion is the 1% really being overly in charge, as they always are. And it's always what my biggest concern is like, I don't
and a
want...
lot of them have even more stroke now because like Max is part owner of Team Liquid.
Yeah. So I don't want to have to struggle bus through some stuff because that's how they want it in order for them to play the game. Like,
there's a bunch of flowers over here. People.
Yeah, I need one.
There's plenty for that.
Yeah. Well, and they come back after you pick them too. So I would say that, and
let's go. Oh, rare. I don't kill it.
I would say that's probably the biggest one for me, is like, and then patch times, because patch times have been terrible for a while. Like, the length of time between patches has been miserable for a really long time.
Yeah.
So I would hope that there's still 2 more of those giant slayers. Darn it. I would hope that they maybe have a better plan. They've said that this expansion, they've been working on it for a long time. I don't know if you heard that Shadowlands didn't happen. That's the plan.
I didn't hear that. That's a little strange.
They're taking Shadowlands leveling out of the game, apparently. Now,
that I knew, but they're not saying the Shadowlands didn't happen. They're just not going to make people level through it.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if that'll be like, we come home and we forget that we were there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering how that'll work. It'll be interesting to find out. I need Ice Furies. Like, how... I think that would be an interesting way. If time didn't move forward, it would be a cool way to end the expansion. Like, we come home and we've been, like, mind fucked. You know?
I mean, I gotta think that they're just gonna not explain anything like that.
I don't know. That would be cool. Oh geez, this is gonna be one of those. We have to kill 5,000 of these.
Yeah. It was you last time. It's me this time.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So that's what I've got as far as information for the week so far. Everything that's come out, we've had a lot of interviews, a lot of like repetitive, like it's the same thing. If you have an interview with Ian, you're gonna kind of get the same information. He's gonna be a little bit like, and not shady. That's not the right word. He's gonna be very like sidestepping, answering the question, while other people will answer it, but then like his answers are different from their answers, so you kind of don't know who's telling the truth. But hopefully we will get some more information. Maybe we'll, in the next like couple weeks, we'll get an alpha update. If there's not new information, then we'll probably do a podcast about more about our feelings about Shadowlands, maybe do a deep dive into each of the expansions that we have played together in, and how that has gone, as like you've gotten little tidbits of history here and there. Maybe we'll do a little bit more of a dive into that, just depending on how information rolls out for us. So did you want to close out for the evening with any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think we just need to remember that as we're coming to the close of Shadowlands and moving toward Dragonflight, that there's been a lot of negativity in the last 6 to 8 months, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. There's been a lot of shit going on with Blizzard. a lot of that is carried over into bullshit between players, and it needs to. We as players, we need to be better.
Need to be good to one another.
Because we don't have to like each other, but we don't have to treat each other like dirt. There's a huge faction disparity, which is why we're getting cross faction play.
Mm-hmm.
And the gap is only going to widen because the game itself won't be able to survive if there's only one faction. Which, you know, I'm not saying people need to like leave the Horde and come back to the Alliance or whatever. That's never going to happen. But the disparity is such that it's just the worst.
Yeah, I agree. I think that
neither side can be proud of anything right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, because everybody is just terrible to everybody, and we need to remember that we're all human beings on the other side of a screen and keyboard. So, let's keep that in mind. You gotta be good to each other.
Be good to each other. You never know who's on the other end. You never know how you're going to affect their day. You could push them one way or the other in a very, very quick fashion. I agree with that. It's very important to just give a shit. Be aware of what you're saying to other people. You never know if it's somebody that's had a really, really shitty day. You don't know if it's somebody's kid that's playing on their account. So, yeah, just be good to one another, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.